Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Keep it. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Just at 1 o'clock, so I'll just keep letting people in. Yeah, let's check and make sure that you're muted as you get attached to the audio. Hi, Chelsea. A nice group today. Wonderful. Hello. Okay. All right, I am recording, so we're good. If you have to drop off or anything, we'll send this out afterwards. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our VPK FAST sort of touch base webinar, info session, whatever you want to call it. Hi, MJ. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Uh, I do not have a lot, I'll be honest. Just reminders that as you get through your PM1, keep in mind that if you did have sometimes changes to your calendars can affect due dates. So you may be getting another message from us because of the hurricane, if that's going to affect anything with your due dates for your next PM, or if you just had started your VPK class, you may have a different due date because of if you closed for the hurricane day last week. And just a reminder, of course, to make sure you print out your reports for your families and get them on board. There is a feature in the family portal where the family is able to see their child's assessment score. We have asked the state for some additional sort of promotional materials on that to help parents understand, because I think sometimes parents that apply for VPK kind of never really go back to the portal unless they have other services. So they may not know to go back into their family portal and that they can see their assessment scores there as well. So we're hoping to have some items to share with you on that in the future so that you can let parents know that that's available to them at any time. Your responsibility, of course, is to generate those parent reports and supply them to the parents. And just a reminder to mute if I can't tell who's, there she is. Okay. As you come in, thank you so much. But you'll notice today I have Ruth, I guess, is out, but we have Claudia and Lena is filling in for her. So welcome, Lena. Thank you so much for coming on and being part of our monthly webinar. We're so happy to have you. And they have a wonderful presentation. They did a really great job of putting together emotional support in the VPK classroom and going over that. So I'm going to let them talk because I don't need to talk anymore. And thank you, Chelsea, put in the chat the VPK town hall meeting we have coming up this month as well, where we're going to be going over the performance metric and what that means for providers going forward in VPK. We have a lot of people joining, so I think we're good to go. If you guys want to get started.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Hi,
Hi.
happy to be here today. So we have this big topic today that is like the right topic for the beginning of the school year. As Gina said, Ruth is not with us today, but we have Lena Lina is one of our manager of TA coaching and development in the coalition. So you just go ahead, Lina, and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. I'm looking at the names and I think I know a lot of people, so I'm glad that all of you have joined. Again, my name is Lina Galliano. I oversee the technical assistance and coaching team here at the coalition, and I am glad to be sharing this information with all of you and of course with Claudia.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I was saying, this is the perfect time to be sharing about emotions and social development because even before when the school year starts in August, we should be like taking in good consideration to be uh thinking about how to become our school ourselves to be aware about all social and emotional development, how we are preparing and sometimes, as BPK teachers or BPK providers, we probably focus in assessments and all that, like running reports, as we were talking last month, how to use the right reports to group children, to share with parents, and all those resources that are great. But remember, a child that doesn't feel loved in a classroom is not going to be ready to open itself, like to show what they have in the bag. So this is a great topic. We're going to be talking today. And remember, we always talk about strong emotions. Strong emotions, we always talk about how children and how as educators, as part of the administration in a daycare setting, we can feel angry, we can feel sad, we can feel frustrated. I don't know if you can follow that. Sometimes when at the office they need to manage a lot of things and they need to get these calls, so we feel frustrated, we feel that, and that those are strong emotions. But talking about that development in the VPK classroom, it's like necessarily we have to talk about even stronger emotions, which are love and acceptance. When a child comes to our classroom, our facility, and as directors, you're prepared to receive that child, that family, because that's a community. So everything, the story is totally different. Okay, so that's the objective today is understanding the social emotional development of children in the VPK classroom and implementing effective strategies to support their emotional well-being, because that's why we are here. Okay,
I
so
really love it,
yeah.
Claudia. Yes, I really like it because when you talked about the importance of emotional development and talking to parents and let them know how their children are welcome in their programs. That's important for parents that leave to work and feel like, oh my God, is my kid staying in here? Is he going to be well cared for? Is he going to be able to make friends? So that's why we are preparing this topic for all of you today because social emotional development it's important in the classroom. So before we get started, we have a warm up activity. We want you to watch a video. Let me just go to the next screen. So we are going to play the video, but while you all watch the video, we want you to reflect on which skills do you find least practice in your classrooms. Which of those four skills that you're going to be watching on the video are the least that you practice in the classroom and why? All right, so after the video, we're going to have a little discussion. You can type your answers on the chat after you have watched the video. Oh, I don't know if I click the sound button. So let me see. Let me know if you can hear.
Social emotional skills are
Yes.
central to children's physical well-being, self-expression, to their development of relationships, and to their learning. This video will highlight social and emotional development in preschool by introducing four aspects of social emotional growth in young children. relationships with others, self-awareness, emotional regulation, and independence. Relationships are the foundation of social and emotional health. These relationships are nurtured within supportive environments in which children feel welcomed, loved, and accepted. Building a sense of community can greatly impact relationship building and growth in your classroom and program. Reach out to families of children and invite them to be a part of your classroom and school community. Children become more self-aware as they learn to identify and label their own emotions. As preschoolers become more self-aware, they improve their ability to control their bodies during different activities throughout the day and engage in appropriate behaviors with their friends. In your work in preschool, be sure to model and support healthy expression and play by providing children with opportunities to meaningfully engage with others during experiences and activities. Throughout the day, preschool children display a variety of emotions in different ways. Whether they're using verbal communication or facial cues, they are constantly improving their ability to manage and control their emotions. With purposeful experiences and adult support, children learn to better manage these feelings and build the previously mentioned relationships through improved communication and conflict resolution. Developing healthy independence allows preschoolers to follow daily routines and activities, communicate with friends and teachers, and complete self-care tasks. As children's emotional literacy grows, they become more confident in exploring their environments. In your daily work in preschool, make sure you provide children with opportunities to practice a variety of skills and to become independent. Social emotional development is crucial to children's ability to learn, and this plays a significant role in determining their school readiness and later success in school and life. Keep in mind that each child is unique and that social emotional development varies across children. Your goal is to help all children learn and grow to their potential.
All right. So let's go back to the question. And I just want to remind you of the
Diana, please.
I just want to remind you of the 4 skills so you can think about answering that question. Please start typing your answers on the chat. And remember, the 4 aspects are relationship
Yes.
building, self-awareness, emotional regulation, and developing healthy independence. So out of these 4 aspects of social emotional development, which one of these aspects do you practice the least in your classroom? Feel free to type it in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself and share what you're doing in the classroom and what you're still not practicing in the classroom. What have you seen in the field, Claudia? Because you're in the classroom all the time.
Well, first, I'm gonna share something, not that I have seen in the field, but something that I did because I was on the field in a VPK classroom setting for a lot of years. So about this 4 elements, 4 aspects of social emotional skills, I think the one that I was like avoiding was emotional regulation. Because
Okay.
sometimes it's like really hard deal with a child that is having a meltdown when you have another number of children waiting for you and calling for your attention. And probably sometimes it's easier. I don't know if someone hear me, but sometimes it's easier to call the office. Please come and help me, come and help me. So I think that was the least strategy I was like developing in my classroom. And in the
Okay.
field, I think I've seen a lot of teachers dealing with behavior. And when you ask them what is specifically something they think the child is going through, they don't know if it's behavior of is something emotional, something that is going on at home or any of that. And for that, I always remind teachers and directors that we have resources in the Early Learning Coalition to help them find out where it's what is the origin of the problem through the Department of Engagement with Maria Gutierrez. So that is something that I just want to share now. But I see people already
Typing on the
typing in the chat.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so they are
Awesome.
adding self-awareness twice. Self-awareness from Melissa and from Alejandra. Stephanie says emotional regulation and self-awareness is definitely least practice in the classroom. Wow. Again, we want to hear from you because we want to know where are the gaps. Where can we come in and provide you more support, right? So let's continue because we have a whole bunch of wonderful things. Thank you all for sharing, what all of you that share in the chat.
But it's good
Okay.
to learn, people, that we are a community and we are all pursuing the same goal here. It's to
Mm-hmm.
have that well-being for everyone, because when you have a peaceful classroom, that will provide you peace of mind. And all the interactions are going to be very different, and you're going to get, even with instructional support, even better than if you don't have that in your classroom. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how important is this emotional and social development. So what is emotional support? According to CLASS, CLASS stands for Classroom Assessment Scoring System. So according to the CLASS, emotional support refers to a teacher's ability. So remember, teachers, if we have teachers here, remember this refers to a teacher's ability to create a positive classroom environment where students feel valued, cared for, and connected by showing concern for their feelings, respecting their individuality, and fostering a sense of belonging through interactions that promote social cohesion and joy in learning. So that's how that is the definition of emotional support according to CLASS. And that is something that we truly need to practice in the classroom, that sense of belonging, all that class is saying. And we have Nicole saying something really nice. Can you help me, Lena?
Yes, yes. Nicole says for us is the emotional regulation and independence. This year we have a class that is very independent on direction from the teacher and have a tough time engaging independently with centers and activities. It can be difficult with the students who are working on self-regulation to constantly be competing for the teacher's attention and direction. Yes,
Mm.
yes, absolutely.
Definitely. And even at the beginning of the school year, probably we're still dealing with that, because remember, some of the families. Oh, and this is 2024. So those kids that are gonna graduate this year were the one that were born in 2020.
Pandemic.
And remember, all this time, probably that was the least uh, development we were practicing, the social and emotional. So it's a big challenge, the one we have. And you're totally right, Nicole. And I'm just gonna let you talk a little bit more, because we want Gina, it's challenging us. Like, we want everyone participating. So that's why I'm being inviting my VPK teachers around the school so they can be part. And if they probably are not able, this is like a nap time, a quiet time. So probably they just can be part with the headphones or something. But it would be nice if you, we can change the slide, Lena, if we
Mhm.
can participate, keep going, because you're doing great with this activity, and write in the chat what type of activities do you offer to children to support the social emotional development. So it's something, it's not related to the video we just saw about that was talking about relationships with others, self-awareness, emotional regulation, and independence. This is what you actually doing in your classroom, something that you came up as an idea for the beginning of the year. You can also, if it's easier, you can unmute yourself or just type in the chat, because here we're getting ideas from one another, things that probably we're going to find very useful in our classroom. So what can you think? What can you think
Let's
about
give them a
something that
minute
you're doing?
to think about that. Let's give them a minute to think about those activities that you teachers are currently doing in the classroom to support social emotional development. What
Yep.
is it that you are already doing? You guys do so many things during the day. So, okay, I see Alejandra setting up a self place for students. Wonderful. That's a
Good.
very good idea. Setting up spaces for children so they can be away from other children and have their own time to maybe process an emotion, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
that's good. And we're gonna be talking about that spaces as well. All
Yeah.
right, so let's continue, Claudia. And as
Yeah.
people continue adding things on the chat, we can
Mhm.
I can help you read those comments. Okay.
Yes, awesome. So that is a great idea, and in fact, we're gonna be
These all
talking
data properties
about
like it's so big, man.
we're gonna be talking
And the other guys.
we're gonna be talking about that self place in a bit.
Yep.
But while we go back to the chat, we're gonna be talking about how the classroom environment play this big role in the social emotional development. So we have three elements when you now you're gonna see your classroom different. Probably a lot of you are can remember that we were doing with ARPA classroom environment, and we got some of the coaches visit to just check around your classroom, all the elements that they make part of the classroom. And we have three main things. We have arrangements, we have displays, and we have materials. So if you take a close look of the picture that we're showing right now, you can see the teacher is just kneeling there working with the children in a table. So we call this an arrangement because it's a space for cooperation. We set the tables in a way in the classroom where everybody can be seated comfortably, and even the teachers should be comfortable, because if they're not, things are not gonna come out the same as she is feeling comfortable. So this is a space for cooperation, and we have other spaces like carpets that we just get together in the morning, like in a large group for circle time. We have another space for cooperation in learning centers. And those are, we call it arrangements. We use furniture, shelves, tables, chairs to arrange that. So you can see that in the picture. Another thing that you can notice on the walls, you see displays. You see all the displays. You can see displays of children's work behind the teacher. You can see numbers. You can see probably those are letters. All that. And even you can see labels letting them know the name of the center, and what, like with the picture, they will know what to do in that center. You can see rules, you can see labels for materials. So those, we call them displays. And we're going to be talking about displays in a minute. And the third element will be materials. And that's what you find in the shelves, on top of the shelves, things that they can use. They're accessible. Please don't place bins with covers, like they need like a lot of effort to open it. Everything accessible is anything that they can get without permission and open it by themselves. So those are the materials, and we're gonna then deep into arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Claudia. So yeah, we're gonna dig a little deeper into arrangements because this part is very important for the classroom environment. There are sidelines. What are sidelines? This means that there are clear sidelines in your classroom that you can see all of your students, that you can even see when they are playing on the floor because usually the shelves are very low. Being able to see the children is very important. This prevents, behaviors in the classroom. So it is important that you can see everything in the classroom and all of the children at once, so you can be able to see what's going on and help them, go to them and see if they need any support, and also supervise any behaviors that may happen in the classroom. There are also spaces for cooperation. So as you can see, there's some spaces here in the classroom where children get together and play together and or do projects together. These spaces encourage social interaction, teamwork, and communication skills. So it is important to have these spaces all well put together and allow the children to select these spaces to play with friends that they want to choose to play with, and yes, allow them to play in this area so they can build those cooperation skills. There are also comfortable furniture for teachers and students. Like Claudia was saying, it is important that teachers also have comfortable seating so they can sit down when they are reading a story. They are being able to take a look at the children's face. They can have that eye contact. When the teachers have comfortable seating, as you can see, I think this is the chair for the teacher, and these are the chairs for the children. They are child size. They are not big tables. They are not big chairs. They are child size furniture. So that's very important. So they can sit nicely and work nicely at the table. Um, all right. We have space for privacy. So we were talking about that a little bit early. Some of you mentioned on the chat that having a space for child privacy is important, right? So what's a cozy corner? A cozy corner is a designated quiet area, comfortable area with soft furnishings like pillows, blankets, and stuffed animals. Anything soft and anything that can help the child self regulate. You can have books about emotions, you can have puzzles about emotions, you can have puppets that can help the child self regulate. This cozy corner or space for child privacy is not a space for timeout. Timeout is like a suspension of the activities, but it's not effective if you don't have a reflective conversation with the child. So please, if you have a cozy corner in your classroom, please do not send the child to do his or her timeout in this area, because this area is not designated for that. This area is designated for the child to go there, calm, self-regulate, gain all their emotions again, and compose themselves. So I want to hear from the group. How is that? Is this area working for you? Do you guys use it properly? I know you guys are not gonna say I use it for timeout, but right. But I just want to tell you that if you have a cozy corner, use it purposely. There are many materials that can be in this area, and they definitely help the children self-regulate if you use those materials properly. Remember that it's not just sending the child, oh, go to the cozy area and go and calm yourself down. No, go with the child, accompany the child, help them understand those strong feelings, because sometimes they don't know what they're feeling. And the adult, it's a powerful tool to help that child self-regulate. Okay, so is there anything on the chat that we can refer to, Claudia?
Well, we have a lot of comments coming from the last question. So while they think about this, about the cozy corner,
Okay.
we can read some of them. Like we use some of the strategies from Frog Street curriculum. such as morning greetings, kindness tree, wow, calming area, and calm down
Nice.
activities such breathing. Oh, the other day I was trying to do the pretzel thing and I almost cracked myself. But it's pretty cool. The Frog Street curriculum is pretty cool. We have Stephanie saying mindfulness activities,
Love
books,
them.
circle sharing. That's awesome. Have them to manipulate it.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh, paint, quiet place, talk about the emotions. That is Ruth. That is awesome. We need to address that. We need to talk about emotions. Okay. Breathing exercises as well as cozy corner. Remember, a cozy corner could be like a break. It's like an emotional break, but it could be like a language break. A lot of our students, our children come speaking in other languages, and probably at the beginning of the year, they need a break while they develop the new language. So it could be used for that, and all the materials need to be playing around that. It's a relaxing time. Daily greetings and welcome them with different handshakes, dances, etc. Oh, we're gonna be talking about that
Yes. Hmm.
later. Sing songs. Our students are able to go in the area when they need to. Okay, that's
Wonderful.
good, Monica. And
Hmm.
my students are still trying to understand the cozy corner and get used to it. Yeah,
Nice.
and remember at the beginning of the year, we need to take this time to do like, you know how directors do tours around the school and
Hmm.
showing parents how this is the toddler room, this is the 2-year-old room. So
Yep.
you do that in your classroom. You go and take your kids around the classroom and explain what is the purpose of each area
Hmm.
in different ways. They're gonna get it as soon as they are exposed to that knowledge. If you don't
Hmm.
tell them, they're not gonna guess that. Okay, so just use a lot of language in the classroom. Uh,
Yes, I love what you said, Claudia. I never heard that before. I love it. Given the mature, or where the areas are, even in the playground, sometimes we take things for granted. We think because we know it, children know it, and it's not like that, right? We have to give them an introduction of the classroom. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
you're
All right, so
welcome.
we can move on to the next um displays. Take it
Yeah.
away, Claudia.
The second one will be displays. So first we talk about arrangements. Now we're moved on talking about displays, but we're gonna be talking about social emotional displays in the
Okay.
VPK school setting.
Okay. No problem. Bye bye.
Okay, so it's like why I feel that we need to be specific with this, because sometimes we think that it's enough to have ABCs, numbers, 2D shapes, 3D shapes, and all colors and all that on the walls, because the displays go on the walls, but we forget about the emotional part. So what part of those displays are gonna help our children to develop emotionally? So displays are images of children and their families. I think that's the very first thing we should do, like as a whole school activity of the beginning of the year. Because if a child is being with you since infants, probably you're gonna get to compare how they grow through the years, and now he's a BPK student, but he can show others how he was looking as a baby. So that is beautiful. And every time they feel like lonely or missing mom, or they're gonna ask 10 times, when is my mom coming? You can go to that wall and show them the picture of the family, and that he's not gonna be left there. They're gonna come always every day to pick him up because they love them. And images of children and their friends, that's cool when you go around like a Snapchat. you go to the playground and they're
Mhm.
sweating and they're having fun with the best friend, and you can take that picture. That's awesome to show them how when they're fighting in another moment because I don't want to play with you. Then you can
Mhm.
show the picture. You see, that was that moment, but you're always friends, and you can refer to those pictures. And children's work, that is really important. Even last meeting, last webinar, we were talking about informal reports when we were addressing the Star Family Report. And informal, these children's work could be an informal report because he's gonna be able to post. Do you see the child in the picture just with a simple clip, just hanging his work after he did it in art, or probably on the table when he was drawing his mom because he was missing mom, or he was drawing his favorite toy he wants or whatever. So that is awesome because when you date, if you date that work, you can compare how was his writing at the beginning of the year and how he's writing his name 3 months after that. So it could be even an informal report, but emotionally, it's like the pride. I can go and show my dad and my mom what I did. And it's not just drawings or art. If you see there is flowers hanging there because it's any meaningful thing. I had this child that used to bring rocks to the classroom. That was funny because the first time I was like, no, a rock, he's gonna hurt someone. And he was always crying when we took the rock away. But when you play that in a way like, oh, this is special for you, so I'm gonna have it here. Everybody can see it, but not touching, it's something meaningful until they just forget bringing rocks. Okay, so let's do that. And our recommendation to display for emotional support, we can go ahead to the next one. It's something that you can even do as teachers. We can go to the next slide, Lena.
Before you can continue, Claudia, there is a comment on the chat from Monica. Ruth says, I did explain each center and spend time with them playing at the centers too. Oh, wonderful. Good
Awesome.
for you, Ruth.
Yeah.
Monica says, I was the infant teacher 4 years ago, and I am the pre-K class. And I have pictures of some of our BPK students, and I show them how much they have changed over the years. Oh, I love
Wow.
this.
Oh, that is cute. I love it.
Thank you for sharing that,
Thank you.
ladies.
All right, so this is our recommendation. Why? Because some of the children, as we were talking, come to the classroom with no previous experience in a group setting. So they don't know how to share, what is to be in a group that we have to share, we have to take turns, we have to wait. And patient is no like the big thing for some of us, like me. So we gotta display things like this to help us build that relationship with others. So every time they come, you don't even need to use your language. You're gonna just point at that because that's gonna be like a reference, a problem solving reference in the classroom. So let's reflect and what is the problem and what we can do. Remember, all these boards, displays, they need to have a picture. And if it's a real picture, even better, even better. You can take pictures of them when they're sharing, when they're waiting, when they're trading a toy, when they're ignoring another one, just a picture, just a silly picture of that, because sometimes we do need to ignore things and just let it go. Okay, so this is a great recommendation that we make today, so you can use it in your classroom as a display, and we encourage all of you to make your own with your own pictures with your own children. Now we're gonna
I
go
wanna
ahead.
I wanna ask the group if some of you use the solution board and how does it work for you? Is it a tool that works in the classroom? Please put it in the chat. We can read that answer later. But I would love to hear from all of you. All right, let's go to the next one. We can transition to talk about materials, right? So besides all of the things, the items that the children play with, which should be placed nicely on the shelves with labels on, so they can easily go to where they are and they know where to put them back because they have labels and everything. Besides all of those materials, right, that are accessible for children, don't need help with going and opening containers and anything like that. Besides those materials, we also have the materials for social emotional development. We have emotion cards. I have some examples of some didactic materials, emotion cards and storybooks. These are tools for teaching emotional recognition. Remember that sometimes children don't know how certain emotions feel. So we are the ones that have to explain. First, we have to explain with us, right? We have to, we can say, I feel frustrated, I feel sad, and give examples. Why are we feeling that way? So when they feel the same, they can say, oh, okay, the word for that feeling is sad. We're helping them develop that language. We can also have puppets and dolls. Children love puppets and playing with them. Used in role playing, where they love, pretending that they are talking to their friend or to their grandma. This is also good for practicing vocabulary. Social stories. You can narratives that describe social situations and appropriate responses. There is a wonderful story. I know many of you probably have heard of it. Tuck It the Turtle. That's the name of it, Claudia. Yeah. Okay. So that's a strategy for conscious discipline, and I know Claudia is gonna put it in the chat. Oh, she put it in the chat. I love it. Thank you. Tucker the Turtle story. Please click on that link and save it in your computer because it's a wonderful story to help children understanding about emotions. Stories are the best. Board games and group activities. Interactive games are always interesting for the children. They teach a lot of social skills. Puzzles and cooperative tasks. These positive reinforcement tools for encouraging good behavior. So there are many things, many materials that you can use in the classroom. And like Claudia was saying, they have to have pictures. It's not enough because remember, children are not reading yet. So having these visuals is important for the children to understand the sequence or something or how to work out a problem. So it's always good to have visuals and refer to those visuals whenever they are having an issue. All right. So this is an example. This I love this box. This was done in this cube back in pandemic. As you can see, these are children with with face mask, and you can do your own. You can actually look for pictures in the internet, and you can use the conscious discipline icons. You can maybe find a picture of two kids hugging, or maybe you can have a picture of two kids shaking hand. Make your own. Ask the children what do they want to have on those and that specific activity, and have them maybe color their own cubes and have them cut the circles and put them in the box. So there are many things that teachers can do, and the internet is full of wonderful activities. Don't be afraid to use it because it's a wonderful and a great resource.
Yeah, yeah, and in fact, when I found this dive, it was back in the pandemic time, and if you notice, they're wearing a face mask. So this is a way they were sharing. They were implementing like distance between them. in greeting. So I found it nice. And as Lena said, we can build our own materials. Honestly, and with emotions, you are gonna find that little details in your centers are gonna make the difference. Like ask yourself these questions, what will happen if I place a mirror in the art area?
Mm.
They're not gonna know what is this mirror doing here? Probably they're gonna see themselves in the mirror and they're gonna like to draw their image. I don't know, or they're gonna start looking at something else. It probably they're gonna use the mirror different in art than in science, but it's just a little thing that you can use and make the difference. And Miss Nicole says, I just took a picture of this and
Mhm.
send it to the teachers. Solution board is a great idea. And yes,
Oh,
yes,
I
yes.
love.
And that's what we're looking for with these meetings, that you can take ideas, not just
Mhm.
our ideas, you can take ideas from everyone participating. Andrea says, I do not have a solution board. However, I do talk over those solutions. And whenever they encounter a problem, I ask them, what can we do? What can we tell them or tell her or tell him?
Mhm.
And those are very good ideas. Thank you, Lucia. And our kids usually
A
want
hug.
a hug.
That
Love it.
is so
Love.
cute. It's good to ask. Sometimes we're like, oh, good morning, but that first moment when that child puts a foot in the classroom is you have to make it special,
Mhm.
because that's how they start a good day. My teacher acknowledged me. My teacher said that I have a nice hairdo. My teacher liked my shoes. Anything that you can say to that child to acknowledge them and to tell them you're here, you're special to me, and I love that you're here today. You start, if you're not doing that already, please start doing that and start noticing the changes. Observe the behavior of the children throughout the day, because that's the only way to know if something is really working. If you really practice it, observe what happens, and then make corrections or make modifications to what you're doing. But please try it. For Andrea, now you have this idea. Now you can have a solution board. You can create a solution board with the children when you're doing circle time. You can tell them, let's all create a solution board. What are the most common problems that we usually have in the classroom? And then have a conversation about that and create something, a solution board for them to, to refer to when they have that issue. All right, let's move on to the
Yeah.
next slide.
Yeah, we're coming to the end
Yes.
here, and I just remember the other day I was reviewing one class assessment report with it was in a VPK teacher, with a VPK teacher, and we read in I think it was Positive Climate that she was kind of uh, busy doing administrative work, and she wasn't close enough to children, and her affect appeared flat because probably she was reading up, I don't know, assessment reports or anything, a note from the office or something. And I know so many things happen in a BPK classroom setting, but our invitation, Gina's, Lena, me, it's like, remember, this is a school readiness. They need to be ready for school, but they need to be ready for life. And emotions are something that are going to be lasting for life. They need to manage that. Another thing that coming to this conclusion is like we know that we need to acknowledge emotions. And we also, besides that, we need to accept emotions. And sometimes it's difficult to acknowledge, oh, I know you're frustrated. I know you're angry. I know this, but do I really accept that emotion in my children? How can I deal with that? And it's not a matter of like really briefly at the beginning, we were talking about expulsion when we were talking about not to use the cozy corner as a timeout space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you use the isolation strategy, you are getting nothing, because in isolation there is no way you develop emotionally or socially. So
Right.
it's kind of, you know how in high school or probably middle school they get suspension and expulsion of a classroom. When we do that in our classrooms with these big kids, we're doing the same. We're not letting them feel the enjoyment in the classroom. So this is emotionally and socially, it's about development. It's about be ready for life, and those are the strategies we brought to you: cozy corners, uh,
Mm-hmm.
different alternatives to play areas, emotion charts and tools, interactive play areas, calm down kids, inclusive group activities, visual schedules. But now, in the conclusion, I just want to add something, and probably as directors present here and VPK teachers are going to be thinking about that. Directors can provide a big support in the
Mm-hmm.
classrooms. How? You may think I'm busy, but you can provide by uh, uh, giving them or finding, even with the Early Learning Coalition, professional development. You have coaches ready to go to your school and work with your teachers. You have resources like Teachstone, videos, trainings. You have the web author. That is awesome. In fact, I think tomorrow we're going to have today and tomorrow we're going to have a great trainings at night. It's something for free. It's something that you can enjoy. It's going to give you in service hours. So everybody, it's a win-win, everyone.
Absolutely.
You can establish procedures. Are
Mm-hmm.
you sure if something it's like a behavioral problem, your staff knows what to do? What Which one is the procedure when they have an unusual behavior in a classroom, when someone is hitting, when something is unusual? What
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
What's
something
the
you can
policy?
you
Mm-hmm.
can think.
They need to follow. Yes.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Claudia, for allowing me to present with you. And I love all the answers in the chat. I love the engagement. Stefan is asking, is there a way to find Calm Down Kids with resources and or books for free anywhere for the kids? Something that wouldn't be a lot of money. Well, like I was saying, searching the web, you have no idea what you can find on the internet in regards to activities for children, teaching social emotional development. Again, we do have trainings here at the coalition that can help you build those skills. And if you have a coach, well, you can always ask your coach if they have books that can help that they can bring to your classroom, so you can help your children with that social emotional area of development. And without further, no, I don't think that we have anything else to share.
Oh, Andrea's asking, how can we get a coach? Just that's a good question.
A
Andrea, if
coach
you
or
are
a
a
couch?
teacher,
Uh, uh, a coach.
I think he's a coach. Andrea, if you're a teacher, you need to talk to your director and ask her to submit a technical assistance request. Let me see if I can find it, the link, and then we can definitely assign you a coach to go to your program. Okay, let me find the link to request TA. I found it. Copy. Okay, I'm gonna
All
write.
right, that's all from our
All right, there you
end.
go. I put the link on the chat. If you want to request technical assistance, that's the link to request. All right, Gina. I think we're done. I don't see any more questions in the chat.
Well, we certainly want to leave it open for anyone that may have any other questions. You guys did such a great job. Thank you so much. I think those were really amazing resources and nice overview for everybody to take into consideration as we get the year going. I know everyone's we had a lot of VPK providers that started this month. I'll be honest. Some people were in August still, but still as we're coming back. And if you did just get started this month, it's a great time to, touch on the emotional development as well as getting back from the hurricane and talking about what that may have meant to, not be in class or have that happening around them. So great suggestions. I really appreciate you guys putting this together. If you have any other questions or any other issues, Chelsea did at the very beginning, and I can repost these. We do have on 1017 the VPK Town Hall meeting coming up. So you're welcome to attend that meeting. That will go over the accountability rule that has changed and how that's going to work for providers going forward. Nicole, I saw you turn your camera on. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Nice to see your face. No, thank you. And we also have a Super Saturday Age of Learning coming on in October as well. So I'll repost that if you didn't see that in the chat. Um, Gracie, wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're able to join us and please share. We will email out the recording. I did record as well as the resources that were shared, the PowerPoint and the resources Claudia put in. I grabbed those. And so we're going to include those in the link. We do VPK Fast webinars the first Tuesday of every month. So we will have the next one. It will actually be on November 5th. And I don't remember what our topic was. Do you remember? Did we get that far?
The topic will be characteristics of an effective teacher,
Oh, wonderful.
intentional teacher.
Intentional teaching. Wonderful. Okay, great. So that one is scheduled for November 5th. So please feel free to share the link. Anyone can come on. We'd love to see your teachers come on and we'd love to have the conversation. If you have any other questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat or raise your hand or unmute. And we're always here to support you. But if not, we will close out for today. And I wish you the best for the rest of the week. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Gina. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Lena.
Gina.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Claudia.
everyone.
Yep. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Lori. Bye-bye.
Bye, Sulima.
Thank you, Lena.
Bye,
Thank
Miss
you,
Claudia.
Thank you, Lena.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,
Oh,
Bye,
Gracia.
Miss Claudia.
Bye.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Claudia. Thank you, ladies. That was very amazing. Thank you very much, Lina.
oh,
Thank
you're
you.
Have a
welcome.
wonderful afternoon. Thank you very
You
much.
too. Thank you.
Wonderful. You
All
too,
right.
ladies.
Bye-bye. Oh,
Bye.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
stop
Thank you.
my.
Thank you.